Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
At first glance, The Prisoner of Beauty looks like a story we've seen before. A warlord, a forced marriage, a woman sent into enemy territory. But within days of airing, this drama shattered heat records and ignited endless debate. And the reason is simple. This is not a romance about falling in love. It is a story about what love costs when history refuses to forgive. The Prisoner of Beauty, when love became a battlefield and changed the rules of historical romance. At first glance, The Prisoner of Beauty looks familiar. A warlord, a forced marriage, a breathtaking woman sent into enemy territory. We think we know this story. And yet, within days of airing, the drama shattered platform heat records, dominated online discussion, and refused to be dismissed as just another sweet romance. Because beneath its elegant costumes and romantic tension, The Prisoner of Beauty is not about love at all. It is about what love costs when history refuses to forgive. And that is why audiences couldn't look away. A marriage built on blood, not fate. Wei Shao does not believe in destiny. He believes in scars. As a child, he watched his world collapse. The massacre of his father and brothers, the destruction of his clan, all tied to the betrayal of one family, the Qiao clan. By the time we meet him, Wei Shao is no romantic hero. He is a warlord forged in trauma, ruling with iron discipline and icy restraint. His authority is unquestioned, his heart sealed. Then comes Xiao Qiao. She arrives not as a bride, but as a political offering, a fragile truce wrapped in silk. Her marriage to Wei Shao is not meant to heal wounds. It is meant to stop the bleeding. And Wei Shao makes his terms clear. She may stay, but she must erase who she is. To love him, she must abandon her family name. This is not a misunderstanding that can be cleared with tears. It is an impossible choice carved into generations of hatred. And that is where the story truly begins. The power couple that redefined the genre. What makes The Prisoner of Beauty different is not its premise, but its characters. Wei Shao is not softened for audience comfort. His cruelty has context. His emotional distance has history. Even his tenderness appears reluctantly, slipping out in quiet moments, in nightmares, in awkward, almost childish reactions when Xiao Qiao disrupts his carefully controlled world. He is powerful but broken. Xiao Qiao, meanwhile, is not written as a passive healer or sacrificial saint. Her strength is quieter and far more dangerous. She understands timing. She understands people. She understands that survival sometimes requires bending, not breaking. Guided by her grandfather's words, "The softest thing under heaven is water, yet nothing can withstand it." Xiao Qiao never challenges Wei Shao head-on. She absorbs, adapts, and slowly reshapes the space around him. She manages his household. She navigates deadly court politics. She protects his people, sometimes from him. This is not a romance of domination. It is a battle of endurance. And when respect finally begins to replace suspicion, it feels earned. When love is the highest political risk. Most historical romances rely on obstacles that feel temporary. Jealous rivals, misunderstandings, court gossip. The Prisoner of Beauty does something far more unsettling. It makes the obstacle permanent. The hatred between their families cannot be undone. The dead cannot be revived. Every tender moment between Wei Shao and Xiao Qiao is haunted by ghosts that refuse to leave the room. Early episodes became known among fans as the adversarial arc, where the couple faced each other not as lovers, but as opposing strategists. Their battles over territory and governance were not flirtation disguised as conflict. They were ideological wars. And yet, through shared leadership, through witnessing each other's principles, something shifts. Wei Shao sees Xiao Qiao choose compassion over revenge. Xiao Qiao sees Wei Shao shoulder the burden of protecting his people, even at personal cost. Love here is not passion. It is trust built under fire. Steel beneath the sweetness. The drama understands a crucial truth. Romance alone cannot carry a story of this scale. So it expands. Battlefields matter. Political alliances shift. Rival warlords plot in the shadows. Every decision has consequences, not just for the couple but for entire regions. Their relationship becomes inseparable from questions of leadership, justice, and survival. Family bonds add further emotional gravity. Grandparents, siblings, and sworn allies are not decorative. They are emotional anchors. Their loyalty, sacrifices, and losses remind us that love does not exist in isolation. And when the tension threatens to overwhelm, carefully placed humor offers relief, never undermining the stakes, but allowing the audience to breathe. It is sweetness, yes, but forged in steel. The storm outside the screen. The phenomenon of the prisoner of beauty cannot be separated from its reception. Casting Lu Yuning as Wei Shao ignited fierce debate. Supporters praised his physical presence and emotional restraint. Critics questioned stylization choices and visual presentation. But in the age of algorithms, controversy is currency. The drama thrived in the space between praise and criticism, what Chinese media calls black-red popularity. Every argument fueled visibility. Every clip became shareable. Every discussion pulled new viewers in. It was not just a hit. It was a case study in modern entertainment economics. A blueprint or a warning. The Prisoner of Beauty proves that audiences are hungry for more than surface-level romance. They want characters shaped by history. They want love that carries consequences. They want stories that respect emotional intelligence. And yet, the industry's obsession with speed, viral moments, and instant heat raises a question. If everything becomes optimized for quick consumption, what happens to the slow burn that made this story powerful? Is this evolution, or simply better packaged fast food? The lasting question. The Prisoner of Beauty stands at a crossroads. It shows what historical romance can become. Deeper, sharper, more honest. But it also exposes the pressure threatening that depth. Its legacy will not depend on its numbers. It will depend on whether future stories dare to treat love not as decoration, but as the most dangerous battlefield of all. And perhaps that is why this drama lingers. Because long after the costumes fade, one question remains. If love demands everything, would you still choose it? When softness becomes the sharpest weapon, what truly unsettles audiences in The Prisoner of Beauty is not the cruelty of war, nor the elegance of power, but the quiet resistance of kindness. Xiao Qiao never attempts to change Wei Shao with grand speeches or emotional ultimatums. Instead, she does something far more radical in a world built on bloodlines and vengeance. She refuses to hate. In a court where every smile hides a dagger, her calm becomes disruptive. Where men rule through fear, her composure rewrites authority. Xiao Qiao understands something most warlords never learn. Power is not only the ability to destroy, but the courage to endure without becoming monstrous. Each time she chooses restraint over retaliation, the story asks a dangerous question. What if mercy is not weakness but rebellion? Wei Shao, raised in violence, does not accept this easily. His world taught him that survival means striking first. Yet, again and again, Xiao Qiao's actions contradict everything he believes. She protects his people when it brings her no advantage. She honors his ancestors even when his hatred wounds her. She stands firm, not loudly but unyieldingly. And slowly the armor cracks. The warlord who forgot how to be human. Wei Shao's arc is one of the drama's most haunting achievements. Unlike many male leads soften early to appease viewers, Wei Shao remains difficult, often cruel, well into the narrative. His nightmares are not aesthetic flourishes. They are reminders that unresolved trauma does not disappear with power. His immaturity around Xiao Qiao, his jealousy, his awkward possessiveness, his inability to articulate care, feels almost embarrassing. But that is precisely the point. He was never allowed to grow emotionally. War froze him at the moment of loss. Xiao Qiao does not heal him. She does something more realistic and far more painful. She forces him to confront himself. Every time she refuses to fear him, Wei Shao is left alone with the question he avoids most. Who am I if I am no longer fueled by hatred? Love as governance, not escape. One of the most brilliant narrative choices in The Prisoner of Beauty is its refusal to treat love as an escape from reality. Instead, love becomes a method of governance. Wei Shao rules through fear because fear is allowably efficient. Xiao Qiao introduces something more fragile, but more sustainable: trust. Their conflicting approaches to leadership create tension not just in their relationship, but across the state. The drama repeatedly asks, can a nation built on revenge ever know peace? Can leadership evolve without forgetting the past? Can love exist without rewriting the rules of power? Their relationship becomes a testing ground for these questions. When they fail, people suffer. When they succeed, entire regions stabilize. This elevates the romance from personal fantasy to political philosophy. Why the story feels uncomfortably real. Despite its historical setting, The Prisoner of Beauty feels disturbingly modern. In an age obsessed with instant gratification, Xiao Qiao embodies patience. In a culture that rewards outrage, she chooses restraint. In a world that monetizes conflict, the drama dares to explore reconciliation. Even the public reaction mirrors the story itself. The online debates, the polarized opinions, the collision between artistic intent and algorithmic reward. The drama's success did not come from universal approval, but from engagement born of tension. Just like its protagonists, the price of choosing love over vengeance. Perhaps the most painful truth the drama reveals is this: choosing love does not erase loss. It does not bring back the dead. It does not guarantee peace. Wei Shao never forgets his family. Xiao Qiao never escapes the shadow of her lineage. Love does not absolve them. It only asks whether they are willing to carry the weight together. And that is why the story resonates so deeply. Because in the end, The Prisoner of Beauty is not asking whether love can conquer all. It is asking something far more honest. When love cannot fix the past, can it still be worth choosing? Why audiences couldn't let go. Long after the final episode fades, viewers are left unsettled. Not satisfied in the traditional sense, but contemplative. This is not a fantasy where love magically heals history. It is a story where love survives despite history. And perhaps that is the real reason The Prisoner of Beauty cracked the code. Not by promising escape, but by daring to tell us the truth. Sometimes the bravest act is not revenge. Sometimes the bravest act is staying soft in a world that demands you harden. And when the final scene fades, The Prisoner of Beauty leaves us with no easy answers. No perfect forgiveness. No irás bloodlines. No promise that love will heal everything. Only a quiet truth. That love in its bravest form is not about winning. It is about choosing to stop the cycle, even when you have every reason to continue it. Wei Shao never becomes gentle overnight. Xiao Qiao never escapes the cost of her kindness. But together, they prove something rare in historical romance, and perhaps even rarer in real life. That strength does not always roar. Sometimes it endures. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it refuses to become what hurt it. So maybe The Prisoner of Beauty is not a love story at all. Maybe it is a question, left deliberately unanswered. Backhand index pointing right. If love cannot save the past, can it still shape the future? And if it can, would you be brave enough to choose it? If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Because some stories aren't meant to be watched alone.